from back in the day, I've always loved my higher time frames. I've always traded on those higher time frames, made all the analysis. You already know the top down analysis, right? We're always looking at the higher time frames, right? But then focusing on the intraday volatility, right, can be really beneficial, especially to those people that like trading on small accounts. It is a beautiful Wednesday, and for a change, we are relaxed, we are chilling because it is a holiday today. I am looking at the chart right now, and Nasdaq looks absolutely good, right? Like the way this chart looks, the setup is absolutely good that I literally want to go into this trade, but just because of my trading plan and the rules that I've laid down for myself as a trader, right? I'm just going to watch this. I'm not going to be like, one of those people that are, caught up with the FOMO, and then, just jump into any random trade because, it's looking like a good setup. So the rules are we don't trade when we have a holiday, and we're going to respect that, right? But if you're new to the channel, welcome. We trade the Nasdaq over here. If you're returning, welcome back. You already know what's up. Don't forget to hit the like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel, because when we hit 10,000 subscribers, we are already at 8,000. We are moving, man. I'm going to be doing a little giveaway, finding 10 different accounts and giving 10 different subscribers free membership, right? And you don't want to miss that. So make sure you are staying up to date, doing all the good stuff to be selected as one of our lucky winners. But how you guys doing though? I am doing absolutely lovely. You already know that it's just a Wednesday, and obviously, like I said at the beginning of the video, right, that I am not trading today, but we've had a really good week so far, right? I did drop the weekly analysis. You have seen the trades playing out exactly the way we said they would, right? So we're going to just look at the screen right over here. You can see that we had a $3,000 move on Nasdaq right over here. And obviously it was not with one single trade. We did add positions. We don't like to TP. We like to AP. You know what I'm saying? So that's like add positions, right? Not take profits. So that's how we managed to capitalize on this particular trade and, made a $3,000 trade. And this was a $400 move right over here because this was just our first take profit. We were expecting a little bit of a drop yesterday, and then it just reversed, took us out on our first take profit. Obviously that we are always going to trade with our stop loss within the entry, right? So whenever we take a trade like this, it moves, it hits our first take profit, right? We are day traders. We don't want to stay in the market for the rest of the night, right? We want to go into the trade today and exit the trade the very same day, right? So for that reason, we're just going to shift our stop loss and put it right inside of our entry, right? And then close some positions when the market comes to our first take profit, which is what we did. And then it then reversed right over here, and then just took us out from the remaining positions. They were like taken out at break even, and then this is the trade I'm talking about, that it looks really good right over here. You can see that obviously if it rejects right now, let's say we had a good movement in the market right over there, if we had good volatility, you can see that this is about the New York session, right? Yeah, this is the New York Open. You can see that if it was a normal day, we would be having like good volatility in the market at that spot right over there. We would just right now be looking at a rejection at this zone or a breakout of that zone, and this could have been a really good trade, right? Because it's just as simple as I've said it all the times, right? If it breaks out of the highs, we are going to go and buy the highs, right? And then if it rejects at the zone, we're going to dive in the sells, expecting it to break out of the zone and then still continue with the sells. If it rejects, this will be our take profit. And a smart person would take this as an analysis for tomorrow and Friday, right? Because I doubt that the market is actually going to move a lot from this current point where it is, because of the holiday, and it actually is not having any volatility at all, right? So depending on how it then closes tonight and then opens tomorrow, we are going to be looking really good. But what I want to actually talk about is this beautiful trade right over here, right? So you can see that from our weekly analysis, right, we were expecting Nasdaq as usual to retest the high. So this was Monday, right? You can see that this was Monday right over here. So our weekly analysis was around about this zone over here, and then we were saying that the market had already broken out of the highs, right, on Nasdaq. So we already knew that the market had opened at the top, like I said in the weekly analysis, right, that if it opens at the top, the buys are going to be looking really good, right? So a lot of you guys were focusing more on the fact that I did not close out that video nice, but I literally put it on the thumbnail. I said buy Nasdaq. I put it at the end of the video. I was like, the buys are going to be crazy this week, right? If you had caught that, you would have just simply opened the chart, waited for it to just, show you good price action, and then just dived right into the trade like we did, right? So obviously, you can see, as usual, a support, a resistance that was broken out of and turned into a support, right? The retest right over here is the simple thing that we use to enter our, our trade. And you can see that the market rejected with a good, that is a doji candle, right? Or whatever candle that is, right? You can see that the market rejected right over there with such a good candlestick, right? And then the main thing about this trade is, okay, let's say you did not catch the trade at this particular zone, even though we did, right? We were already in our buying positions, as you can see in the inner circle right over here. We're already in the buying positions on Nasdaq, right? And then our first take profit was going to be at this particular zone. So it was one of those trades, right, where the market forms a high and then literally breaks the high within the same day, right? So these type of setups are actually rare in the market, right? You can see, for example, on this day, right, you can see this was a Monday. That's where it formed the new high, right? And then it dropped down and then it tried to retest the high on a Tuesday. This is no longer Monday, but on this day, it literally formed a new high on a Monday and then went down on the very same Monday and then broke the highs and moved. It was absolutely insane, right? So obviously, you know that we want to capitalize on this, but then you can't just look at this candlestick. If you're waiting for a breakout of this candlestick, right, and then want to enter a trade, you would have gotten it at this particular zone. This is where the lower time frames come into play, right? So I'm just going to explain to you guys how I ended up taking this type of trade on a 5-minute time frame, right? So obviously I was in the buy right over here. We rode it up to the top and then I had to go onto the lower time frames, which I already had the high marked right here, right? So I had this horizontal ray right at this zone saying that I want to see the market breaking out of this zone. If I had waited, let me just remove every single thing so that it's easier for everyone to see, right? So this is how the chart was looking, right? Minus obviously all of this, right? So that is what the chart was looking like. We had entered right here. So all of this had not yet happened. All of this that you're seeing, it was just looking like this, right? And then I am saying that, how do I know if I'm just not going to exit the point right now, or I'm going to have to add positions to maximize on a potential breakout and then, just shoot up to the top? Normally when the highs are broken, Nasdaq goes crazy with those, buys. Obviously you can see that if it closed like this at this particular zone at 6 o'clock, right, with this type of candle, I would not know if it had broken down, right? But then you would want to know that to capitalize. You can't wait for this candle. This little candle, it would be like 6:30. It still doesn't tell you anything, right? So if you go on to a lower time frame, even lower time frame, first of all, on the 30-minute time frame, I would have noticed the little build up that's happening over here. But still, this build up, I would have waited for it probably at 7 o'clock to confirm this breakout and then try and capitalize on this trade right over here, right, to add my position. So don't forget that we are having a long position from around this zone, right? And then we are still in the trade. We want to know if we are taking profit here or we are adding positions at the break, right, at the zone and then riding it to the top, right? So I literally just went on the 5-minute time frame, which you can actually just do when you're trading breakouts to want to look for a confirmation, right? So instead of waiting till 7:30 thereabout, right? So this would probably have been the 7:30 of it. You see, look at the movement, right? We actually just went on our lower time frame. You can see that the break literally happened at 6:15, right? The break and close. It broke and closed out of this zone, and then everything else would now be history. And then, I'm always saying that if you see that the market is playing around with a little build up at a support or at a resistance zone, it's normally going to break out. It's normally going to break out of that zone, right? So I always said that in most of my videos, right? So you can see that that is exactly what had happened. So let's say you were not in the trade at this particular zone, right? You were not in the trade at this particular zone from the bottom right over here. You literally just look at the high, new high that it formed, a build up forming at the high on a 5-minute time frame, and literally just capitalize from any candlestick right over here. You could have opened the chart when it was here, when it was here, when it was here. Just look at the build up right over here. You could have literally taken this trade and rode up this buy, right to the top. Absolutely beautiful. We just capitalized on this trade, a $3,000 move. It was just insane, just crazy. That is why we just chilled today, not even looking for a trade, not even bothered if we get a trade or not for the rest of the week, because that is 3% on $100,000 account, which is absolutely insane. Very beautiful, right? But today I'm not going to forget to do the outro of the video like I did last time. So if you did enjoy that video, don't forget to hit the like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. You feel me? With that, it's been Tino, and I'm out. Peace.